Spring will be here before you know it, and so will hundreds of little kittens if we don't take action now. I'd like to welcome Dawn Wilkerson from the Humane Society of South Carolina. And just tell us, please, if you don't mind, how we're doing in the fight to reduce pet overpopulation.
Well, Koko, we work every day to try and reduce pet overpopulation in the state of South Carolina by offering low-cost spay-neutering for people's pets, and that is the best way to prevent litters of puppies and kittens from going to the shelter. We have also initiated an effort to have some feral cat Fridays for residents to be able to have their community cats fixed so that they don't have litters of kittens and those kittens end up in the shelters.
Now, let me ask you about the feral cats, because most feral cats don't want to be handled. So if it's not your cat, and most people are afraid of stray cats anyway, so how would you recommend trapping a feral cat?
So there are some good resources out on the internet. alleycatalley.org is one. We have some information on our website, humanesc.org. We recommend that you use a humane trap. We can offer those traps to you for a deposit, so they're free to loan, and we just ask that you give us a deposit, and then we return the deposit when you return the trap, and trap the cats humanely. So one little trick I have heard is to take a can of soft food, which is relatively very inexpensive. If you're feeding these cats every day and they're used to you, then they're going to know where their feeding spot is. So if you take a can of soft food and put it on a paper plate and sit the trap over the paper plate so the food kind of comes through, when that cat enters the trap and the trap door shuts, you're able to pick the trap up and there's no food left in the cage for them in the trap. So that was just one little trick I heard. I know a lot of people like to set a bowl of food in there with a little water. That's fine, but in order for us to spay or neuter these cats, they must have fasted for so many hours for surgery.
Okay.
So that's how you trap them. But there are some good resources on the internet.
What would you say to some people who think that it is just so cruel to spay or neuter a pet?
Well, Koko, if you'd like, I can share a little graphic of how these pets multiply over a period of years, and is really not healthy for the environment. So, overpopulation is definitely an issue here in this state. And as you can see, just one cat over a period of 7 years or 8 years can produce 2 million offspring.
One cat?
One cat in 8 years, not fixed, and their offspring not fixed, can produce over 2 million cats. That's definitely an overpopulation issue for us.
That is overwhelming.
Yeah, so if one cat can have several litters a year, so if you say trap that cat at 3, 4, 5 months old before it has its first litter and are able to fix it, that animal goes on and lives a healthy life out in its environment and in its cat community, but you've just prevented 2 million births over its lifespan.
That's something definitely to process.
It is. That's why it's so important to spay and neuter your animals. I know there's a lot of misconceptions about spaying and neutering out there, and we are very educated in it, and very much are willing to talk to you if you have doubts about spaying and neutering your animal, and can give us a call anytime and ask your questions, or send us an email to info@humanesc.org. And that comes right into our ticketing system, and we answer them routinely every day.
Tell me about Columbia, South Carolina. Can you estimate how many stray or feral cats we have in Columbia?
Oh my, I mean, we get calls and emails daily of areas of Columbia, Richland County that have feral cat populations, and people are trying to control these feral cat populations. And so there is no way to estimate it, but I am certain it's in the hundreds of thousands, if it's not in the millions, just countywide.
And paint a picture for us what that means in terms of in Columbia and Richland County, what that actually means for the community of having that many stray or feral cats, and what that can do to a community.
So with cats entering into the shelter system, I mean, we have a lot of cats in Richland County. I can't give you an exact number, but I estimate it's in the 100,000s that we have for feral cat populations in the county. And with that creates a burden on the shelter system, because these people find kittens are really cute. They can be socialized at a very young age, and people think, oh, I need to take them and bring them to the shelter. Well, once these kittens enter the shelter then takes care of them. They feed them. Sometimes they're so young, they have to be bottle fed. They get vaccinated and vetted. They need to be spayed or neutered before they can even be ready for adoption. And then sometimes these kittens, with their background and coming from a feral cat population, may not always be able to go to homes with multiple cats, or homes that maybe have a dog, because they may just be several generations deep from a feral population, that a lot of these socialization that you see in domestic cats, they just won't have. They may be a little particular. So they may be a little harder to adopt. And then therefore these shelters and rescues need to hold on those animals. And unfortunately, in this state, there are just not enough adopters for cats. So we will always have a surplus of cats over the amount of people who are able to adopt cats. So that's why spaying and neutering is so important, in order to keep, our shelter costs down and the burden on the taxpayer down.
Burden on taxpayer? That was going to be my next question. Who's paying for all of this?
So the city shelter, which also covers the county, they have an allocated budget for the animals a year. And so when a kitten or cat goes into those shelters, they obviously spend those funds that were allocated to them on those animals. So the shorter the stay for the animal, the better it is for the shelter and their funds that they are allocated.
I see. Okay, and I want to also move on to your vaccines and testing that you're doing routinely now. Make people aware of that.
Sure. Here at the Humane Society, we're located at 405 Green Lawn Drive. It's a relatively new location for us. We are doing drive-through vaccine clinic. So if your pets need to have their vaccines or heartworm testing or feline leukemia FIV testing, you are welcome to make an appointment online at humanesc.org, or you can just pull up anytime between 8:45 and 11:30, and we will be able to take care of your pet with your vaccination needs. We offer rabies, distemper, Bordetella for dogs, and feline leukemia for cats.
Okay. Now, you do have single doses now available, right?
Yes. So of our product offerings, we want all the pets to remain healthy. That is our goal. That really goes along with our mission of preventing neglect in animals. And so keeping your animal on a preventative, like for dogs, heartworm is very, very, very important. It's very rampant here in South Carolina because of the mosquitoes and the heat. That's how it's transferred. So we offer our heartworm medication. We offer a very comprehensive product, and it is offered in a single dose to meet your budget. So we don't require you to buy a big box. You can just stop by. If your heartworm test was done at a regular vet's office, we need the prescription from the vet, not the heartworm test. And then if it is done here, and it's only $20 to be done here for dogs and cats, we offer those single doses for you to help meet your monthly budget needs.
Dawn Wilkerson with Humane Society of South Carolina, thank you so much for joining us today. For those of you who would like to join in on the fight to help reduce the pet overpopulation, find out more information about Feral Cat Fridays, how can they get in touch with you?
So they can reach us by calling our office at 783-1267, or they can send us an email at info@humanesc.org. They can also reach us by our Facebook page, Humane Society Columbia. And all those ways we will answer, those questions and get back to them.
All right, Dawn, thank you so much. Don't be a stranger. Be safe. Stay well.
Thank you.